Welcome to a nourishing midweek lunch hour conversation with Spokane's newsmakers, thought leaders, and popular entertainers. Spokane Talks Live is brought to you by our friends at Homes for You and Breakthrough Incorporated. Welcome to Spokane Talks Live.
Welcome to Spokane Talks Live. Kent Adams here. Hope you're having a great day. We're getting toward the end of September. Next week's program is in October. Can you believe it? Hey, we've got a fun program and I think an interesting program. Leroy Eadie, who is the, what is your title? The Parks Department Manager, Chair, Parks and Recreation Director. We always have these titles, which means in the language of all of us who have gone up in management, you do everything. But Leroy's here to talk about Riverfront Park. Perhaps you've heard that things are going on there. It's exciting to drive through and nearby and see all that. So Leroy will be here to talk about that, and we'll find out what's going on. He told me he's not going to announce the exact date, but the ice skating rink, and it's not a rink, it's a ribbon, okay? We'll get into all that. Is coming up here not too far in the distance around Thanksgiving time. Jim Hedemark, our sales manager, is here to talk about a program that he's going to host called Labor Talks, and then also about a program he created, and we've been shooting this week, and we'll shoot some more next week, kind of a debate series called Candidate Confidential. And Connor is calling the weather after this, next on Spokane Talks Live.
Hello everyone, this is Connor from Spokane Talks with your quick 5-day weather forecast. Today will be a high of 76 degrees sunny with a low of 49 and clear. Thursday will be a high of 80 with sunny skies and a low of 49 and clear. Friday we're actually going to be sunny with 76. However, when night comes, there's going to be a new storm system coming through, and there will be a 50% chance of rain after 11 p.m. with a low of 50. Saturday will also bring a chance for showers, which is going to be a 30% chance, mostly cloudy with a high of 61 with the low of 44 with showers. Sunday will also bring a 30% chance of showers, mainly before 11 a.m. Then it will become partly sunny with a high of 61. Hope everyone enjoyed this weather forecast, and I hope your day goes great.
For the Inland Northwest's most comprehensive sports report, think outside the porch with Spokesman.com. For just 99 cents for the first month, you'll enjoy unlimited digital access to the news and sports news that affect you most. From EWU to WSU, from Northwest Preps all the way to the Seahawks, we're the local authority that makes sports in the Inland Northwest different than the rest, better than the rest. On your phone, on your desktop, and on your tablet. Subscribe to the digital experience with Spokesman.com.
I'm Lexi Dyson. I am an archaeological technician for the Tahoe National Forest in California. Archaeology is perfect for me. It kind of combines all of my loves: history, my love of culture, my love of arts and science. As a girl, you don't really get told that science is for you. Like when you look on TV, you always see men in lab coats. I was a freshman at North Central. Randy James was one of my biggest cheerleaders. Randy was one of the first people who told me that you are good at this, you can do this. His favorite phrase that he would say to us that really stuck with me is, Yato, you are the ones. We're the ones who are going to make the difference. We're the ones who are going to make the change. You really start thinking, oh my gosh, yeah, we are. I am the one that's going to do this. The work we're doing in Tahoe definitely is going to be here for good. Our purpose here is to preserve things and to make them last, to be here for good, for those future generations to enjoy. I love the variety of it and being able to see things that nobody else really gets to see, and having that touch of history and connection to people in the past. I am helping people by preserving their own heritage, their own resources. One of the things I love about STCU is using the STCU mobile app no matter where I go. It could be here in Tahoe National Forest, I could be back home, or it could be clear away across the country. I've been so impressed by their willingness to help and just be there where I need them to be, basically. It gives me a sense of home, even though I could be 3,000 miles away, 6,000 miles away, which I have done with STCU, and I've never looked back. I'm Lexi Dyson, and STCU is here for good.
See you tomorrow night, and thanks again for taking care of the painting.
I got this.
Bye.
Weekends are made for painting. Let the experts at Rada Paint take care of you.
Hi. This looks amazing.
Rada Paint, over 80 years of quality, tradition, and trust. Find it in every can.
Welcome back to Spokane Talks Live. And Leroy, Eadie, how are you?
I'm doing pretty good.
We were talking before we went on. The last time you were here, we were upstairs. And that's been over a year. So it's been way too long. You need to come back more often. Okay, we don't.
That's right.
Yeah. Hey, hot on the topic right now is when we were just talking during the commercial break. It was 3 years ago that the Riverfront Park bond issue went up and won and passed and all of that. And those are always a bit of a struggle because you have to get that 60%.
Absolutely, supermajority.
Yeah, and we often think, well, if you win by 50% plus one vote, you got it, but not for some of these things that where we invest in the future and so forth. And I want to talk about a lot of things, but what's exciting to me is we're getting close to really seeing some action in the park, other than just construction, but be able to really use it. And what's coming up first here?
Yeah, so Kent, the first thing that's coming up is our recreation ice rink, and we're super excited about that.
The ribbon.
It's called the Ribbon, yeah, and it's an ice rink unlike any other in the Northwest. No
Really?
other community will have this, where
Wow.
they have a ribbon ice rink with a pond associated with it, and really fun for citizens because it's a different kind of ice experience, and we
Okay.
actually think it's going to take them back in time a little bit.
Yeah,
This
yeah,
idea
yeah.
that I went to my local park and I skated on a pond. We don't do that anymore for safety
Yeah.
reasons, but this is going to give you that feel.
Right. Now, when you say a pond and you say and all of that, the ribbon I kind of get. There's a little bit of a trail that goes out into the park a bit. But will there be what I would call that looks like kind of an ice rink where there's a general area as well?
Absolutely. So on the northeast side of the ribbon,
Northeast, okay.
there will be a place you can pull off, and it'll be completely connected, and that's what we call the pond.
Ah, okay.
And the pond is an area where you can work on your figure skating skills. I
Oh
know
yeah, like I'm going to do that, right?
if you want to do your spins and your jumps.
Yeah.
But it's also a time for kids to hang out, families to be able to slow down a little bit,
Right.
and also a place that we can do some skating lessons.
Yes.
So the ribbon itself actually, it has a little bit of a climb.
Oh,
And
okay.
you'll climb up a little bit, a small grade, 1 to 2%, and
Yeah.
then you'll come down a little bit
Oh,
as well.
fun.
So I think that's going to be pretty.
It's kind of like the
exciting.
real world out there, isn't
Exactly.
it?
Not everything's flat.
Yeah. Now, I'm trying to envision the site. Will there be places to sit around or watch and all of that? Because some of us old grandfathers don't dare go out there, or we'll be directly taken to Deaconess or the hospital.
It was very much behind the idea in the master plan to activate the south side of Riverfront Park, especially for the winter months.
Okay.
And so that the
Easy access,
easy
close to
access.
downtown.
Absolutely.
Right.
The rec rink is right across the street from Riverpark Square, right across the street from City Hall, right in the southwest portion of the park. So that activates that portion, and you ask a good question: is it going to be a great place to have visuals as well? And it is.
Yeah. Okay.
We have 2 different fire pits, so the gas fire pits.
Okay.
For people to stand around.
Okay.
Plus heaters. So when you're watching
Oh,
your grandchildren,
okay.
you're going to be able to stay warm in this experience as well.
And that'll all start this fall.
Yeah, so we're holding on that you kind of shared.
Yeah.
We're being careful about our grand opening date because we got a big promo coming up here,
Okay.
a big promotion for it.
Okay.
But it'll be right
But
around
around Thanksgiving.
Right around Thanksgiving, which has been our target for quite some time.
Yeah.
Really want to capture the whole skating season this year with the rec rink.
Yes. And I think people are anxious because areas of, not all, but areas of the park have been closed off for obvious safety reasons and building and so forth. And this is going to, I think, really, with the holidays and the weather changing, forecast kind of indicates we might have another year like we had this last year, which means a real winter and so forth. I think that's going to rev up the enthusiasm for other things that are coming in Riverfront Park, don't you think?
Yeah, absolutely. So and the nice thing is that starting this fall when we open the rec rink, we'll move right into finishing up the work on actually 3 big projects. The carousel,
Yes,
which is gonna be super exciting. The carousel and the Rotary Fountain and the Howard Street Bridge South.
Okay.
Those will culminate the finish of the south end of the park.
Okay.
Those will all be open in this spring, early spring.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
And super excited about that because,
Yes.
of course, we love our Louvre Carousel. We
Right.
completely dismantled it, took off site, and then built a new building.
Yeah. Now tell me about the Rotary. What do you call
The Rotary Fountain.
fountain? Okay, because there have been some controversies, in case you hadn't noticed, with the challenges of building and maintaining that. So what's being done that will help ensure it's going to be there next summer if we have another summer like we've
Yeah,
had?
well, one thing for sure is it's going to be there next summer, and it's because we're completely rebuilding the Rotary Fountain.
Oh,
Now,
okay.
everything above ground, all Harold Belay's work,
Right.
is, pretty much stays
Right.
the same. But
But that wasn't where the problem was
right.
it?
The problem was in the guts, everything
Yeah.
below ground, and all the mechanicals and the pump,
Yeah.
and the plumbing and the piping and all that. And part of it is the technology today is better
Yeah.
than it was 12, 13 years ago. When it was, built.
Exactly.
So that'll help us out. But you really got to commend staff, the park board, and we've been talking to Rotary. Matter of fact, I had a meeting with Rotary yesterday all along about the rebuild of it.
Yeah.
And we're honoring the traditional design
Yes.
as much as we can, honoring all the donors that donated to the Rotary
Right.
Fountain.
Right.
And then the park board was willing to invest another almost $1 million into
Oh, wow.
rebuilding it.
Okay.
But we have to remember is that fountains are they're kind of notorious for having maintenance challenges. You just add water.
You're really setting yourself up for issues.
It's just
No matter how current the
Absolutely.
technology is, right?
And the tricky thing is we have short summers and we have long winters.
Yeah.
And so that's always takes a toll on things like fountains and
Yeah,
pools
yeah.
and splash pads. But
I mean, like freezing pipes and everything else that goes.
absolutely,
Yeah.
you have to be really careful about all those things. So, but we're excited. We think it was a good investment.
Yes.
It was the right time to do it, rather than 3 or 4 years down the road limping along and then saying, "Okay, now we got to tear it all up." And do
Yeah.
it. So
Yeah.
we did it
Well,
all
if you're
at one time.
doing that whole area, why not? Yeah. How popular has the fountain been?
Fountain's been very popular
Yeah.
because one of the beautiful things about Spokane and Riverfront Park is you get to be right next to the river, but you can't get in the river.
Right.
And
there's no swimming pool
there's
there.
no swimming pool or anything.
Yeah.
So to have a free place
Yeah.
for children to be able to play, and splash pads are very popular.
Yes. Yes, they
and,
really have become, haven't they?
Yeah, and it's a way for kids to get wet. They're safe. Parents can be right there, but they also don't have to keep. We don't have a lifeguard on site. Those types of things.
Right. Right. I tell you what we're going to do. We're going to take a quick break and come back and talk about all the other things because this is kind of fun and exciting to see what's going on in the old Expo 74 site. I mean, we made the changes afterwards, and here we go again after some 40. I think it was some 40 years.
Just past 40 years.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. All right. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be back right after this.
Welcome to Tom Sawyer Country Coffee.
Tom Sawyer Country Coffee only roasts the finest organic coffee for our signature blends. Enjoy a cup at our coffee shop and local businesses and organizations across the region.
I'm Tom Sawyer, and we choose the Pacific Northwest.
Last year alone, Avista customers saved over 53 million kilowatt hours of energy. Enough to power more than 4,000 homes for an entire year. Way to save, everyone. Way to save. Find your way to save at avistautilities.com.
What? You haven't been to the library lately? Stop in today and see that the library is more than books. Spokane County Library District facilities feature on-site technology, including Wi-Fi, computers, and printers, as well as free use of meeting rooms. The Library District offers events and programs for all ages, from story times to career development and employer classes to Social Security workshops. Our staff is well trained and happy to help. Find out more about your library at scld.org. Welcome back to Spokane Talks Live. Kent Adams here with Leroy Eadie, who is the, I'm going to get it wrong again, the Spokane Parks and Rec Director.
Got it.
All right, there is hope. All right. If not, you're going to have to go back and change your title
That's
just
right.
to match. We were talking again during the break that 40 years for the infrastructure following Expo 74 really was pretty good life of a real community asset. And that's one of the things that people talk about, that and River Park Square and the improvement of the Davenport Hotel, and then the things that kind of cascaded from that of keeping downtown vibrant over the years, and that's been kind of exciting to see. And I was asking you, one of the things, after 40 years, your cost of maintaining old equipment tends to really start to ratchet up. And so if we didn't have this bond issue to replace some of that equipment and to put new opportunities in, the cost of maintaining the old stuff would become outrageous, wouldn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, just simple things like sprinkler systems.
Yeah,
I mean, those things were really starting to fail. Adequate restrooms, asphalt paths, all those types of things really needed a reinvestment. And the other part of it is the way communities are using their urban parks today is a little bit different than 40 years ago.
Okay.
And it's really about events. And
Yes.
you see that our park, the new park we're developing, it definitely has some attractions like the recreation ice rink and
Right.
our beloved carousel.
But it wasn't wired for electricity for events.
Absolutely.
I mean, just things like that the
Absolutely.
average person doesn't think about until you go there and you find out you can only have, a couple of stands or something because there's not enough power.
That's right. And so we're going to go from 40 events to 150 events in a few years in Riverfront Park.
Wait, a year?
Yeah.
From
150 events a year versus 40 in the past.
Wow.
And you're really going to we're going to take advantage of those shoulder seasons, that spring and that fall,
Yes.
and obviously throughout the summer,
Yeah.
and really program that park so that people are in it all the time, especially on the weekends, and really create some excitement and energy there.
Yeah.
That's the way urban parks are used across the country.
How fun. One of the issues that's been covered, I mean, you probably can guess where I'm going, and that's the pavilion. What's happening with that? I haven't kept a track of in the last few weeks, but there was the issue of the bond issue when they showed pictures and so forth, which I get because we all show and things like that, artist renderings and so forth. But then in the last, 6 months or so, there have been a few people knocking on the door saying, wait a second, what's going on? So bring our audience up to date on where we are on that.
Yeah, so we're in what we call a design validation time period. We're using an alternative construction design technique called progressive design build, where you hire a contractor and your designer at the same time.
Okay.
We're just about ready to finish the design validation period, which is about 30% through design. That's where we've had a lot of these tough conversations that you're referring to, Ken. And that's around, are we going to traditionally cover the pavilion? How much, what is the lighting going to look like? What are you going to do inside the pavilion? Those types of things. The big debate was really around the
cover.
Yeah. And, we left in the master
Which has always been a problem.
It always has been a challenge. I mean, we actually think the original cover had a design flaw in it. And as you know, the pavilion wasn't supposed to stay after Expo 74. It was supposed to go away. As most communities, they want to keep their landmark architectural piece from the exposition.
That and the old railroad tower are symbols of Spokane.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So, we took a close look at that, but really what was driving our design was programming.
Yeah.
And we knew what we wanted to do with the pavilion is it'd be mostly an outdoor event location where we can host Take Out in the Park and Hoop Fest and Bloomsday and all these different other new events. But we also wanted to create interest inside the pavilion too, that people would come there and they would climb up this crazy topography and get out on this platform. And we didn't need a cover to do any of those things.
Okay.
And so what we really got focused in on was, what do we need to make this space great?
Yeah.
We need some shade. And so we're really focused on now, the latest design has these shade sails that follow the shape of the cabling on the pavilion, but it doesn't completely cover it. And the nice thing about that is it's much easier to maintain.
You're not going to have the wind problem of blowing away a big sail. I came to town about 41 years ago, this month, actually, and it was 2 years after Expo. And there was still the covering, but every couple of weeks there'd be another hole. Then there'd be another hole. I mean, it was going like, okay, that's kind of a symbol. And then, of course, after a year or so, it was so tattered, you had to take it down.
You get so much wind that comes through that southwest portal, and it's trying to get out the top, and it creates a lot of forces. Hey, but the really exciting thing is the lighting. So we got to see this week some of the more advanced lighting designs that our design team is coming up with, and it's pretty exciting. It's all LED. People are going to be able to see a really amazing light show that'll be on top of this pavilion. That is going to blow people away.
Now, will there be lights on the river too?
We do have lights. You're right. There are some lighting on the river today, and that's just pretty much just white light. We're not really trying to put a lot of colors.
Right.
The pavilion itself with the LEDs will be colored. We'll be able to
Okay.
change those colors. We can make them seasonal if we like, and and they're fully programmable. So that is going to be something.
Welcome to the 21st century, right?
Absolutely.
I mean, here we are with all kinds of things that, putting up the GU logo during a basketball season on the tower and things like that. Welcome to what we can do today. It's kind of fun. Okay, let's talk about. We kind of know what's coming up next spring. What are some of the other things that are going on? What's the timeline? We're going to see the ribbon and the ice area this fall. Then next early spring, we'll see the carousel and all those activities, the Howard Street Bridge and so forth done. What comes after that?
Yeah, so we get really busy on working on the pavilion. We'll start demo this fall, so the IMAX building will be demo this fall. And we'll be demo inside, and then next year's really about construction in the IMAX.
Okay.
And really, a lot of Havermill Island gets shut down.
Okay.
So where citizens had to be challenged with the south side being shut down, they'll have that open this next year. But in 2018, we'll be closing off the center of the park to be able to do that pavilion work. And one of the key pieces that ties everything together with this project is what we call the Howard Street Promenade through the middle of the park.
Okay.
And this is a fully rebuilt pedestrian promenade with full lighting, full power, benches, all of those things that take you very nicely through the middle of the park. We can hold events on. All that starts to get built as well. And that's really our big part of it. Overall, we want to finish this project, and we are scheduled to finish this project by mid-2019.
Wow.
When we presented the bond to the citizens in the fall of 2014, we sold the bonds in January 2015. We got our money. We started design. We began our project in earnest. And under state law, we have 5 years to spend the money. And we're gonna do that in 4.5 years.
Wow.
And so we're on time. We're on budget.
And you're earning a little money right now, aren't you?
We're earning interest on the dollars, and that's helping us out. So we had the citizens approved about $64 million with interest. And other investments through grants and other dollars that we brought to the project. We're well over $70 million right now. So
wow.
It's a nice way to leverage what the citizens approved. And as a citizen, I wouldn't expect that we would do anything less than try to leverage those dollars.
Well, and I like it when we, as caretakers of the public dollars, which you are, take care of the public dollars. I mean, we've seen too many things that haven't gone right, and it's just too easy to spend someone else's money. But this is fun and exciting. Okay, now we're just about ready to finish up here. Where can people go to find current things on what's going on in the park?
Yeah, so go to the City of Spokane's website and then just click on Riverfront Park, and all of our information is there. And it take you back all the way in time through the master plan. We have all of our documents there, all of our budget information is there. So we're 100% transparent on where we're at in budget, how much money we've spent, how much we've encumbered, and how much we have on our balance.
Okay. Now the other thing is, since you won't give up the date for the ribbon, will you come back as we get closer to the time?
That'd be great, Ken. I'd love it.
Let's promote that. I think that's fun, and because it's around Thanksgiving and so forth, it's going to be such a family time, and the ribbon and all that you're doing is going to be so family oriented that I'm looking forward to it.
It's going to be a great show. We're building this whole theme for the grand opening around fire and ice.
So
we're going to have flame, and we're going to have ice. It's going to be pretty fun. So
all right.
Big celebration.
Thank you. Thanks.
Right.
This is great
Ken.
news, and we will have you back, okay? All right. We're going to take a quick break, and we're going to come back and talk about Candidate Confidential and Labor Talks right after this.
Last year alone, Avista customers saved over 53 million kilowatt hours of energy. Enough to power more than 4,000 homes for an entire year. Way to save, everyone. Way to save. Find your way to save at avistautilities.com.
See you tomorrow night, and thanks again for taking care of the painting.
I got this.
Bye.
Weekends are made for painting. Let the experts at Rada Paint take care of you.
Hi. This looks amazing.
Rada Paint, over 80 years of quality, tradition, and trust. Find it in every can.
find the right home for you, you'll work with your realtor to compare the properties you're interested in, analyze the market, and figure out a reasonable offer price. And now, here you are, ready to make an offer. Yay, you! Here's how it works. First, you'll complete an offer sheet which your realtor will then present to the owner. Sometimes, a nice note to the owner can help your offer stand out. Butter them up. Tell them how much you love their garden, that it reminds you of gardening with your grandmother as a child. Do not mention you're gonna bulldoze it and put in a pool. The owner may accept the offer, reject it, or counter. It's important to be in close contact with your realtor during the negotiation process so any changes can be reviewed. Your realtor is like your consigliere, and that makes you the Don. Once your offer is finally accepted, there are usually some contingencies that must be met in order to keep the contract alive. Inspections are totally common in real estate transactions. They include termite checks, surveys to determine boundaries, appraisals to determine value for lenders, title reviews, and structural inspections. This stuff is mind-numbingly fascinating. But you know what's even more fascinating? Actually getting your new house.
Back to Spokane Talks Live. Kent Adams here, and I want to introduce you to somebody new, although you've been with us for a little bit of time, but I think it's the first time in front of the camera. Oops, we lost camera one. No, Jim Hedemark, how are you?
Well, Kent, how are you
Okay,
doing?
we're going to move you closer to the microphone, okay, so we can hear you. Hey, let's first of all tell people what your job is here at Spokane Talks Online.
I've been mostly, well, thank you for letting me out of the call room. I work on marketing and sales and some creative. I'm playing producer a little bit. That's fun. I enjoy that. I would say that I'm a creative type.
Yeah, you
who
are.
Likes to talk to folks about what are the stories we tell, and how we can best bring those stories to the show. And so I work with them on understanding that our format. I like to say, we don't read the news.
Right.
We convene the conversation.
Yep.
And what a wonderful thing to offer.
Yeah, when you see so much of the quick and dirty 30-second message or something on Facebook that's quick and short and all of that, and today we can actually have conversations and get into things.
Yeah, boy, clickbait news.
Yeah.
Guilty.
I was going to say we all kind of do it, don't we? But
boy, let's never go there. Let's never have those teasers. We have the conversations that really speak to the Spokane experience and beyond.
Yeah.
So what do I do?
You cause trouble. You create trouble. Hey, one of the things, Jim, that you do and you have done is we're going to talk about two programs that you've created. The first one is. We've been doing this Meet the Candidate where Sulani Madsen has the candidate come in and ask about where did you grow up, where did you go to school, what was your first job, all the safe things, kind of the quick elevator speech about who you are. And we found last year when we first started doing it that was great because some people didn't even know what the person looked like, much less could they speak, could they even pronounce their own name and so forth. And then you came up with the second idea, which we're getting ready to launch online Sunday or Monday, and walk people through what your idea was and what we're doing. I think it's absolutely fascinating.
Sure. So candidate confidential.
Okay.
I've worked in politics some 20 odd years.
Yeah.
Around the United States. I started here in Spokane.
Right. And you've got a rich history here in Spokane. We need to talk about that one of these times. About your dad was Ferris High School football coach for 20-some years.
Oh yeah, he was in with some real legends up there, and but let's not start on Dad.
No.
He taught history, more important.
Oh, okay. Is that where your interest in history came from?
I would say to a little degree. It's funny. I was arguing online on the Spokesman.
Yes.
With Kent and I. Well, let's just say that there's not enough film in that camera for you and I to argue politics.
No.
But
But you will notice, audience, that you're on the left of the screen and I'm on the right. And there's significance there, right?
Very apropos.
Yeah.
Anyway, another program host, Sulani Matz.
Yeah.
Actually, had my dad at Paris.
Yeah.
A couple years ago.
Yeah, a couple years ago. Yeah.
In history.
But let's talk about Canada Confidential.
Yeah.
What is that? What are we trying to accomplish?
I found myself over the last 20 years standing in the back of so many debates.
Yeah.
And my heart really goes out to the good people in the communities, small to large. You have these eggs and issues, breakfasts.
Yes.
Chamber, the League of Women Voters do a wonderful job. But you have all these candidates. It's a scheduling nightmare.
Yeah.
To try to get everyone together and give them more than a couple of minutes.
Right.
So I thought, with this format, let's go ahead and convene the conversation.
Right.
And let's have a real conversation. The candidates and the voters walk away from a so-called debate thinking, I didn't learn anything. What are the issues?
Yeah.
So, Candidate Confidential. Now I tell you, I wonder if Anthony Bourdain is going to. Actually, Tony, if you're out there, and I'm sure you are, you're welcome to come on Spokane Talks Online. So, Candidate Confidential, it's a real issues-driven.
Right.
Let's get to the issues.
It's not a formal debate, but it's a chance to ask 2 or 3 issues of the 2 candidates that sit next to each other and so forth. You reached out and sought and landed a couple of very unique hosts for this. And to talk about the 3 areas and who the hosts are.
Earlier, when you said my rich history, I thought you meant Rich Cowan.
Oh, well, yeah, that too.
We're so lucky.
Yeah.
Volunteering their time.
Yes.
Are John Allison.
Yes. Former KXOY news anchor. 20 years ago, we found out when he was in here recording the other day, when he sat down and said, this has been 20 years since I've sat in front of a camera.
He's been practicing law with Iman Allison, Hunter Jones.
And he just was a natural the other day, wasn't he?
Let's not give him a big head.
Oh, no, okay. He was fair.
He was really. Yes. So we're very lucky to have people that would take time to come in to help us provide this service. Really, it is a service.
So John's going to do what? The downtown, the city, and those races.
Yeah.
Who do we have for the Valley?
In the Valley, we have Rich Cowan.
Okay.
And folks would know him from
Z Nation.
North by Northwest.
North by Northwest, yes.
Which, of course, partially in the zombie business, I guess.
Yeah. Well, and actually, they're shooting some stuff in our lobby tomorrow. Z Nation, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. You don't have to put makeup on it.
I probably should. But just last night, wasn't that fun to watch?
Yeah. And he used
Rich Cowan sit back in the chair
and he used to produce and host and so forth on KHQ years ago. So he's got the background in journalism and so forth.
What was the name of his evening show?
PM Magazine.
PM Magazine.
Yeah. And then for the Medical Lake Cheney, kind of west of town, Airway Heights.
West Plains.
West Plains.
Yes.
Who do we have there?
A very good friend of mine, John McCallum.
Okay.
He's a wonderful guy. He knows the West Plains as much as anyone.
Yeah.
He's been the editor of the Cheney Free Press since 04.
Okay. Right.
But he's an Eastern Eagle.
Yeah.
Through and through. Again, broadcast training, so forth. So we're having a lot of fun, and these people again really have come forward to help us, help the candidates.
Tell their story.
Not so much the story, but
the issues.
Right to the issues. That's what I love about the show.
Well,
right to the issues.
And they have the choice, an opportunity to learn about the candidates and their personal background and family and job and those kinds of things. Meet the candidate. Then they have a chance to hear about the issues in the Candidate Confidential. And so we're really offering both. And the fact is, I've had a station manager tell me in town that, can't, for those kinds of races, we probably will have very little mention unless they've killed a dog or a cat or something. I mean, it just doesn't rise to the importance in 20 minutes of news enough, and so forth. And so we're getting feedback from others like that, hey, it's good that you guys are doing it. So we're really pleased to do that. We have two major sponsors for Canada Confidential, and who are they?
Absolutely. So Lawton Printing.
Yes.
It was so fun to record an intro with Laura Lawton.
Yes,
She's
yes.
so great.
Yeah.
I really enjoy.
Well, it's a great family. I knew Ray Lawton.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So, I mean, it's
77 years.
Yeah.
That Lawton's been serving. We were able
the
to.
Inland Northwest.
Yeah. And they certainly always served me well. So
yeah.
Lawton is wonderful. And then there's the committee to keep Spokane's economy.
Right.
Help me. Did I?
Yeah, I think that's
protect Spokane's the committee.
Right.
To protect Spokane's
the
economy.
Vote No on Prop 2
That's
group is the other sponsors. And they stepped up, and that's how we pay for the equipment and everything else. But as you pointed out, our three hosts are volunteering because they get it. They get that this is a service to the community, and we appreciate what they're doing. The other program that we're doing is one that we already have sponsored, at least two of the sponsors, and that's called Labor Talks.
Yes.
And what's that about?
Well, Spokane Labor Talks is a labor of love for me.
Oh, pun intended.
Yes,
yeah, I know.
But really,
yeah.
I'm fortunate to have grown up in a union home.
Right.
Dad's a teacher, mom's a nurse.
Okay.
And again, in the 20 some odd years of public affairs,
right.
You've
worked with a lot of labor groups.
Always, my military friends, they bounce around a lot when they're kids.
Mm-hmm.
But the upside of that is that there's a ready-made community.
Yeah.
As I've moved around the country and helped different candidates or worked in different public affairs issues, I feel like I have a ready-made family.
Yeah.
When I know who I can call, and time again.
Yeah.
From
step
Spokane
up.
to Swansea, Massachusetts.
Right.
It's the
There's
labor
really a
unions.
place like that?
I'm sorry?
There's really a place like Swansea, Massachusetts?
Swansea, Mass.
Okay.
So we're going to tell the story.
Yeah. And it's not a political program. It's a program of telling the rich heritage and what's going on with labor unions. And the fact is how they work together with business and so forth, because it's about creating and keeping jobs when it comes down to it, isn't it?
Union is good business.
Yeah.
I
like the feature that you're going to do. You're going to have folks in from the labor unions and talk about what's going on and their contributions. And you've shared with me a restaurant that they're working on that will raise money.
That's fun.
And things like that. But you've also shared with me briefly what you plan to do at the end of each program. And talk about that, because I think that's really touching. I really do.
Well, there's a workers' memorial.
Yeah.
That happens every year. And this will be a weekly show.
Yeah.
And at the end, so the Northeastern Washington and Northern Idaho Building and Construction Trades Council is
one of the sponsors,
along with United Association, the Plumbers and Steamfitters, Local 44,
right,
and a couple other folks are eager to tell the stories that. Let's get out of the halls and break down some walls. Not in a demolition manner, but
right. No, I agree. And when I was walking into work, we were talking on the phone this morning, and you were talking about some of the issues of why certain unions were invented and started and so forth. And it's not just safety, but it's other kinds of issues and so forth. And my background, I've never been a big union supporter. But I'm curious enough to find out what, you hear the negative stuff. I don't care what side you're on many things, business, unions, all of that. And I love hearing stories about good things that are going on. And that's what we're going to hear in our weekly programs, aren't we?
Absolutely. We're going to, our first program, we're going to focus on IBEW. That's the International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers.
Yeah.
And some folks, of course, have just come back to Spokane from being in Florida.
Right.
And we'll be talking about what that's like to
be
help
gone
out.
for 10 days, yeah.
Well, IBEW, they truly bring the power to the people.
Exactly.
That's what they do.
Exactly.
These are inside and
Right.
outside.
In this case,
linesmen
going
and
to
women.
Georgia was from Avista. It was the cruise from Avista.
Yes. So that'll be interesting to talk to them.
Yeah.
But it's also the family stories. I when I first started calling a few friends that I've known for years and said, one show I'd really like to do is local labor. Some myths, some facts, and a few tall tales. And you can't believe how many are volunteering each other.
I'll bet.
To come on and tell the stories.
So this is going to be a program that's going to live for a long time, isn't it?
I think so.
This is fun. Jim, well, number one, welcome aboard. You've been doing a great job, and I'll say it publicly, in bringing new ideas and a new look and new conversations to the public. And what we talked about is only a couple of the things that we're going to be debuting here in the next few weeks. And so welcome aboard. Good to have you here. And if people want to get in touch with you, how do they best do that? Because I know they're going to want to sponsor a program.
I would say go right to SpokaneTalksOnline.com
and fill out the form and send it in.
Yep.
Right.
Send an email.
All
That's
right,
the way
good.
to go.
All right. Well, thank you very much. Hope you're having a good day today. They swear that it's going to be 76 degrees out there. Last time we looked, it was just under 70. So we'll see what happens. We're going to be back next week right here on Spokane Talks Live. Have a great week.
Spokane Talks Live is produced in Spokane, Washington by SpokaneTalksOnline.com, which is solely responsible for its content. To recommend a guest or topic and to watch or hear this program again, go to SpokaneTalksOnline.com. Join us next Wednesday at noon for an hour of great conversations on Spokane Talks Live.